Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to give you a quick introduction to statistics. Okay, certainly we'll learn a lot about it throughout the semester hopefully, but this is a very quick overview. So last semester when we went home and things went crazy, at the end I asked my students in this course to send me a funny meme or a meme that they were feeling at the time, and this was one of the best ones that I saw. Okay, and I think it describes a lot of students' feelings about taking a statistics course. So you sign up for statistics, but you find out that it's an art, a science, and English, but not math. Okay, so many people will often reflect, many students will reflect, is like, this is weird, this is not used to, this is not a usual math course. And I believe I talked about it on Monday. This is not going to be our usual math course. Okay, it's a statistics course, and statistics is very different in its focus than in math. Okay, so in this first video, I'm just going to define the terms. In the first chapter of the book, they basically try to define a bunch of terms that we're going to use throughout the semester. I don't know if that's the best way to go about it, but I'm going to follow the book because that's the book we're using. So some of these important terms that we'll use throughout the semester, it's good to try to understand or at least define them. So the big one that we're going to use a lot is data. And data is the information that we gather from experiments and surveys. It's what statistics works with. Okay, it works with data. And so what is statistics? There are many different definitions about statistics. The book says it's the art and science of learning from data. That's what the cover of the textbook says. And I think that's sort of correct. Okay. More technically, a statistic, singular, is any summary of data. So if I take the mean of a couple of numbers or the median or whatever, that is a statistic. And so statistics as a field is the study of those summaries. And so there's statistics, and also what I think you need to keep in mind is the statistical process. Okay, it's what really sort of governs and defines what we're going to do in this course. The course is basically designed around taking you through working with data. Okay, and so the statistical process is a sort of a four-step process. One, you formulate a statistical question. Okay, you have a question that you want to answer with data. So, have humans grown? Have humans grown recently? Okay, or maybe more technically, has the average height of males increased in the last 100 years? Okay, so that's maybe a more mathematical question, but we can also formulate it in a statistical way. So you have a question that you're interested in. Okay, is a certain drug effective? So certainly with coronavirus everywhere in our lives, we will talk about it a fair, but not hopefully too much amount. Okay, certainly finding out if the vaccine is effective or not is a statistical question. Okay, so they're doing statistics when they try to answer that question. They collect data, you analyze the data, and then you interpret the results. So that's what we're going to work on in this course. And so you'll find that we almost go lockstep from 1, 2, 3, and 4. We learn what kind of questions we're going to ask, how to collect data, how to analyze it, and lastly, how to interpret it. Okay, a few more important points. A sample and a population. When you collect data, you have to summarize data in order to sort of gain information from it. Okay, if I give you 100 points from what I collected, that's probably not going to say a lot to you. But when you summarize it, then it'll make some more information. Then it'll make some more sense, be easier to digest. Right. So we see summaries in two different circumstances. Okay. The first is the population. Okay. When I'm taking data, so on and so forth. I'm taking data from a population. And so a population is defined as all possible subjects that you're interested in your study. Certainly, if I was interested in a disease about young people, teenagers, the population that I'd be interested in taking data from would be people from the ages of 11 to 19 or something like that. Okay, so that would be my population. The sample is the subgroup of the population that you actually take data from. Certainly, in many circumstances, you're not going to be able to sample all the people in the population. There's only one time that you really ever try to do that. It's called a census. So the census is happening this year in the United States. And they try to sample everyone. They try really hard, but they can't guarantee that. Okay, even when you throw a lot of money at the problem, still doesn't fully help it. Okay, so that's a sample in a population. Here's a nice graphic to sort of think about that idea. The whole green part is the population. That small box is the sample. Okay, so as an example, I might ask you to identify the sample and the population from a word problem. Okay, so for example, I'm interested in the proportion of students at Shippensburg who have a TikTok account. Okay, that is probably pretty high. Okay, thus I ask you. There are 24 students in the class right now. If you have a TikTok or not, what is the sample and what is the population? The population are all students at Shippensburg. That's the population I'm interested in. The sample is the 24 students in this class. Okay, so now I move to what's called a your turn. Right? So there will be your turns in each of the videos and slides that I post this semester. Okay, and a your turn is a chance for you to engage with the material. And what I mean is complete some problem. So this your turn, I give you a nice explanation or a nice setup here, an exit poll to predict the outcome of the 2010 gubernatorial election in California, okay, was taken. So that's the sort of setup. An exit poll sampled 3,899 of the 9.5 million people who voted to find the sample in the population. Okay, so I'll talk more about these your turns when I post the video, okay? But you're going to do this, write it down, and then scan it and upload it. Okay, so lastly, we've got just a little bit to go. What are the different type of statistics that we're going to use in this course? There are two types of statistics that I'll talk about a bunch, descriptive and inferential. Descriptive statistics just summarize the data. So these are ones that we know, something like the mean or the median or the mode. Okay, those are descriptive statistics. Inferential statistics are not really a single number, but they're a way that you can actually make decisions or predictions about a population based on the sample that you've obtained. Okay, inferential statistics are the sort of big place that we're getting to in this course. Okay, so that's what you'll see at the end. That's what most people do with statistics, is some sort of inferential type stuff. All right. And so lastly, we're going to talk about a few more important terms, a parameter and a sample, a parameter and a statistic. So, a parameter is any numerical summary of the population, and the population is the important part. Okay, so as an example, the percentage of the population of all Florida residents favoring handgun control. Okay, sorry, I said that weird. The percentage of the population of all Florida residents favoring handgun control. That is a parameter because it's a summary about the population of all Florida residents. Okay, a statistic is the same type of summary, but it's about the sample taken from the population. Okay, so I sample 5,000 people from Florida, and I ask them their opinion on handgun control. Okay, and I get back that 54% of those sample subjects say they favor controls over the sales of handguns. Okay, that's a statistic because that's about the sample and not the population. Okay, so that's it for this video. Just some terms that we'll need to know, and a simple your turn that hopefully shouldn't take you more than like a minute to complete. Right. So I'll see you next time.